it's probably more than that. That's probably a good 10 years old anyway. I think I still had my crew on when we built that one.
Probably. Do you maintain it or does she?
She does. Looks like brand new.
Don't leave it up here. I'm going to pay you that day. You rode it up and rode it home.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Well, I know she rode it up there because I was there when she came in. Well, I was born in May of 1952 in Richmond, in a hospital in Richmond. My mom and dad both, I think, were born probably in their own homes right here in Reedville. And both had moved away to Baltimore, and that's where they started dating and were married, and moved back here in 1946. And I guess Dad just sort of grew up in the boatyard business. I did the same thing. From what he said, he helped his father, I think, starting off firing a boiler. They had a steam engine here that they used for the machinery. And I didn't start off doing that, but I got to hanging around, and he let me come in and pick up the bent nails off the floor. They were using galvanized at the time, so it wasn't like the $3 a pound Monell.
And you were probably very young.
Yeah, but I could have all the galvanized nails they dropped and didn't want to pick up. And then I could always go on the scrap pile outside the house, outside the shop, and get my supply of lumber to build my tree house or boat, add on to my wagon or whatever I wanted to do.
You remember the first boat you built?
My first boat was an engine bedding, a crate that they shipped an engine here on, and I nailed boards on the bottom to make a scow, but it wouldn't hold me.
You said your father came back to Reedville in '46. What did he do? Go to Baltimore or work in the shipyard during the war?
Yeah, he went to Baltimore and worked at Curtis Bay,
okay.
Coast Guard Yard.
Coast Guard Yard. Yeah, a lot of people here did that.
Yep. Went up in 40 or 41. I'm not sure which.
At that time, did this boatyard lay dormant, or did there was someone else working it?
For a while, I don't know the dates and the years, but for a while, Captain Herbert Rice leased it. I'm not sure just what he did here. So.
Yeah. When did this particular boatyard come into your family?
1906.
1906, okay.
I don't know when it started, but Mr. Bailey, Isaac Bailey, that's who my grandfather Samuel and his partner Joseph Davis, that's who they bought it from.
They bought it from Bailey.
They bought it from Bailey.
Who lived in the Bailey Cockerel house here?
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was an already established working boatyard at that time.
Right. Right. That's my understanding.
Yeah. Okay.
And actually, Mr. Davis's wife was my grandfather's niece. And I mean, I don't know if anything to do with the partnership, good or bad, but.
How long did the partnership last?
Sometime in the 20s.
Became then a Butler.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he bought it, Mr. Davis, I can't remember the date. It was sometime in the early 20s, I believe.
Was he, Davis, some of Ann Winner's people?
Grandfather.
Okay.
Yep.
Ann Winner's Hayner's grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. You say both your parents, before they got married, they met in Baltimore, but they had lived here separately in Reedville.
Right.
Was it on Main Street here?
Yeah. My grandfather Butler's home was where the Kimballs live right now.
Okay.
And my mother's family, Lewis's, was it's just been sold. It's on the corner opposite Zeke and Mary Bird Hurst.
Mm-hmm.
So they were close. They knew each other,
Yeah.
you know.
Otherwise, harmless.
Yeah.
Okay, Captain High.
Captain High. That's what I always called him.
Yeah.
Because I don't
got you
remember
now.
him very
Yeah.
well. But went to Reedville. I remember the old high school. I didn't have any classes in that, the old wooden high school.
Mm-hmm.
That was a real big time when they tore that down. I think I was in the 3rd grade. They took all the classes across Main Street to watch them tear down the old building. So that was quite a time.
Yeah, I can remember that building.
Yeah.
So, did you graduate from high school here?
No,
You had to go to Heathville.
went to Heathville. I went 7 years here in Reedville, then went to Heathville. Graduated in '70.
Did you know as early as high school that you were going to stay in the boat building business?
I'm not sure I knew for sure, but yeah, kind of. I knew I liked it.
And you'd spent a lot of
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
you know.
Worked when I was in high school. I worked in the summers here, and I've always liked doing stuff with my hands, and just naturally fell into working with wood.
Did you go directly from high school into the business, or did you do something else?
No, right out of high school, right here. Yeah.
Was your father in the business when you came in?
Yeah.
When did he die?
He died in '76.
And he worked almost up until the time.
He did, as long as he could. I think he died in October of '76, and I think his sickness, I don't think really affected him until the spring. So he worked pretty much the whole time. He'd slowed down some.
Do you know anything about the background of the Butlers before they came to Reedville? Or how long you been here?
Not a whole lot. My grandfather and his family lived up in Lillian, or
Where?
Lillian, or most of them.
I was going to ask you that question because my father lived all the way down at the end of Fox Point. There wasn't but 3 or 4 houses down there, and one of them was a Butler house.
Okay, Fox Point is down where Perry Sheeper was. Yeah, right,
The last house before you get served, you turn to your right, that was Fox Point.
right.
There's about 23 acres in there. And the next house up, which they've added to considerably, I think, was the Butler house. He used to tell me that's where he...
That I am pretty sure that is Henry Butler's home.
Okay.
A distant cousin of mine has just in the past few years moved into the area, and we've been in contact some. She's a descendant of Henry and has done some genealogy and kind of hooked up some things and shared some info.
Coming on up the road, Miss Otta Butler, and was she related to you also?
Miss Ida was married to Uncle Jim.
Yeah.
He was another brother to my grandfather.
Okay, oh, your grandfather's brother.
Yeah, yeah.
And he ran the service station, and she was did funerals, right?
Right. Well, my understanding, he did too, I think, and then she carried on and helped him carry on after he passed away or something. So.
Because Mr. Ernest Lewis was telling us that she and Mrs. Weldon were the only 2 licensed women undertakers in the state of Virginia at one time.
Somewhere at home, I've got a business card of Uncle Jim's, and I can't remember how it's worded, but it's like service station, undertaker, and the whole deal. One card.
I'm going to give you one because I have one. The bill she sent to my grandmother. My grandfather died in 1933, and it's written on like a little tablet form, and on one side it has funerals, and the other side had tar vulcanizers. That was a big thing in vulcanizing tar back then.
Yeah. But my grandfather's family was a fairly big family. And my grandfather was the baby. And Dad always said a lot of his cousins he never really knew because they were considerably older.
There was a Butler, their son, soon flew an airplane down here. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember
what
him.
his name was?
Sam.
Okay.
It gets confusing.
Pardon?
It gets confusing with the Georges and the Sams.
I remember when he landed over in the Lewis's pasture, and he was taking up pastures for passengers for something like $2 a ride.
Yeah, I remember him real well. He's about. There was only 2 or 3 cousins, first cousins of my dad, that they really kept in touch much. He was one of them. And he ended up, after retired, living in Chrisfield.
Did it?
I think his wife was from Chrisfield. My great-grandfather, according to everything we found, was a wheelwright. And he was in the Lillian area for a while, I think before he died. My grandfather, Samuel, according to my dad, and there's some records around that kind of confirms that, he and his brother George ran a store in Lillian for a while. And also for a while, my grandfather Sam was engineer aboard the E. Warren Reed fish boat. I don't think it was long. I'm assuming that's probably when he built that model.
No, around about 1900. Right.
Probably. I think she was built like 18,
1902.
it was 1902.
Something right around, maybe a little bit before that.
Yeah.
When they opened up shipyards in Baltimore, building Fort Lee, lots of people left this area
Mm-hmm.
and went to Baltimore, went where they were building things like Patuxent and all those places.
Right.
Because there wasn't anything to do here for them, really.
Yeah.
And it was big money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw in some of the records where your father and grandfather built striker boats.
Yeah.
At least 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah. I don't think my dad ever built anything. Not after he moved back here.
No, this was long.
Right. I think my grandfather did some of that, and he was probably here when.
Did they ever
They were
build
doing it.
first boats?
I don't think so. Don't think so.
So, I guess if you looked at the progression of boats or something like, that would have the log canoes, and after that they came to, what is it, bateaus they call them?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that they built those, didn't they?
I would think so. Yeah. The records that I have don't really get specific,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm assuming that some of the entries, like sailboat,
Yeah.
that's probably on that line.
But when I was growing up, there was a number of these, what they call bateaus, had a big rudder on the stern of them with a tiller.
Right.
Yeah, anywhere from 28 to 32 feet, something like that. Were main boats used for tonging or trot
Crabbing.
lining.
Yeah.
But I don't know if one exists around here now.
Well, my dad built pleasure boats, but in my time, it's shifted quite a bit. It's a lot more pleasure boats now than commercial boats. But he built his share of pleasure boats.
I hear that every come here has to have a Butler-built boat as a status symbol.
Well, that's good. I don't know whether that's true or not.
And the types of boats you build, anything anybody wants? Or?
Well, I stick to what I'm comfortable building.
Which is what?
Just the old basic traditional bay-built boat, cross-planked, hard chine.
And are they all wooden boats or not?
Yeah, I've done a little bit of fiberglass work, but it's been wood core, so I'm not thrilled about doing that, but it's all right, I guess.
This boat that you're building out here now, it's gonna be laid as wood core laid up fiberglass.
Hmm.
Is that for a special purpose boat?
Well, kind of. The people that are building it, the sister is going to have it most of the time in Rhode Island. Where she's going to run the boat, there's a speed limit, so you can't have much horsepower. Where she's going to keep it on shore, there's a size limit on it, so that determines the maximum size. And it had to be trailerable to bring it back and forth from brothers to sisters, from Rhode Island to Virginia. So that sort of lends it to being glassed and lightweight. So, but we're trying to get a traditional round stern workboat look. It's going to have that type of cabin on it, but it's just going to be a pleasure boat, a plaything.
I thought maybe it was a special boat like clamming or something.
No special use. It's a picnic boat.
Memories of Reedville from your father, grandfather, your earliest memories of things that aren't here now, or
Well, I guess the first thing that comes to mind is just how much it's changed in being busy with businesses. You know, it seems like when I was a kid, when you went down the end of the street, it was just
It was a busy time.
stuff going on everywhere. I don't. When you look at it now, it's hard to imagine there were so many different businesses there. But
Well, you
Yeah, it's
start
just-
right here when there was, I remember, you probably don't remember a coal business, but the Marsh had a coal business.
no, I don't remember the business.
Where was his house? It was right here?
Where we park, Dad bought that after it burned,
Yeah.
and the property line ran right down. This shop was right on the line, and then
It was a big house.
yeah, the marshes cut across and went up, and the house was up there where we're parking.
and that was where coal was sold.
I don't know where the coal yard, may have been right back here.
Well, that was still here when Dad bought the place. He did a little work on that. It was a garage built out over the water, with three bays. It was small, and on the outboard end of that was a dock, and remnants of what Dad said was his coal dock, and the piling is still there. And probably not now, but for a long time, you could go there and pick up a chunk of coal any old time.
And he sold ice, but the ice he bought from the ice plant, right?
I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he had anything here.
Yeah. No, the ice plant's where he got his ice, but he sold ice in the summertime, cold in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Then Blunden and Hinton was a big operation right next to it.
Oh yeah, yeah. We were just like closed in from everything down the creek when they were here, because the cannon house went, right out beside us, right on out the creek.
Then you went on around, you probably wouldn't remember this either, was Scale House there.
I remember the building.
Yeah.
I don't remember it in operation.
It quit. Then
Yeah.
Reed and Rice, the dye building was still here, right?
Yep. Yeah, I remember that. Also, not in use, but I remember the building. And of course, had a barber. Charlie Crockett was a barber down there. Oyster House,
Dennis,
fish dock, oil company,
Huff and Puff.
Huff and Puff, ice plant, machine shop.
Hard to imagine as a newcomer, I can't picture.
The thing for me that's hard to remember is that And from 1880 until 1922, there was a big fish factory there.
Yeah. Yeah. That was where Huff and Puff was, basically?
Yeah. Where the Crazy Crab is.
Mm-hmm.
If you look behind the Crazy Crab right now, you'll see a pile of bricks from the old dryer.
About when did the activities start to lessen, go down? I mean, in the 60s or?
Well, apparently it was going down in my first remembrance.
Yeah.
Because, well, like we were just saying, a lot of the things I remember, the buildings being there, but the business not in operation. The dye building was vacant. And the scale house, you know, that was just sitting there. And it's, I guess, been gradually going down ever since. So probably the early 50s.
I think
Late 40s.
Right after the war, it began to decline fast. Do you remember big ships coming, or tankers coming up here to this dock?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good size ones too.
I don't know, but bigger than what Steve Pruitt had anyway.
Oh, yeah, they were.
I guess they were 120 or 50 feet maybe. 150, I guess.
Yeah.
One captain used to back away from the oil company dock and come up against Blunden and Hinton and swing them around going down the creek. And just looked like maybe that one guy got awful close most of the time. But he never hit it when I was watching. Hear the bells, signal bells to the engine room.
Now, the oil company here, they got that oil pier. They used to deliver the petroleum at that dock then, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
About how big were the tankers that were delivered?
I don't know whether they would have been as much as 150 feet or not, but I'm sure they're as much as 125 or 30.
Yeah, they were pretty good size.
Because you'd think they draw a lot of water, given the cargo and everything.
Well, I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
That little one that Steve had, if he'd come in loaded and the tide was low, a lot of times he couldn't get up far enough to get the pump hooked up.
Yeah.
And of course, when he started running in, it'd been a while and probably stuff had silted in. But
Get back
when
to
it was
boat
regular,
building.
you know.
Get back to boat building. Most boats you built, you didn't have any really engineering plans for, did you?
No, none of them really.
Somebody that comes in and say, "I'd like to have a 22-foot dead rise oyster boat," you say, "This is what I can give you," right?
Yeah, well, ask him what he wants. Try to pin him down.
Do you sketch it out or do a scale model or anything like that?
Not normally.
Your eye is just good enough, you don't need to.
Well, these skiffs, like I, started helping my dad build, it's not a lot to them. I mean, it's pretty basic. You can change a little bit when you lay them up, but
But can you extrapolate, say, plans from this boat here, 18-foot on up to, say, like the RC you built, the 40-foot boat? Are they a progression, or is there an abrupt change in a model?
well, I guess the biggest change would be from outboard to inboard.
Yeah, shaft log and all that.
Yeah, it's a few sort of rule of thumb things that you can use, and it's not set in stone. Each boat, it can be a little different depending on what you're going to do with them and where you want the engine and this and that and the other. Depending on what kind of boat or how elaborate they are, probably average four, maybe 5.
And that's ones you build.
Yeah.
Now, you also do
Yeah.
repair work too, right?
Well, I don't do a lot anymore. I do occasional job here and there.
Yeah.
Most of what goes on the railway, I just pull up and wash off and let the customer,
Yeah.
the owner,
Mhm.
do his thing or hire somebody. Or,
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes I do.
yeah. But you'll normally build about 4 or 5 boats a year or something?
Yeah, something like that. You know, one year I had, it's strange, for a long time it was really rare to build a dead rise skiff. Everybody wanted flat bottom of some sort. Of course, you can build one of those in about a third the time.
Mhm.
Then the year before last, it seemed to be everybody wanted a dead rise. So that slows things up. Just working alone and with starting and stopping all the odds and ends, it takes a while. The boat I'm building out here now, the owner's helping me. He wanted to help, wanted to work along with it. Well, this past year, you all know about the apprentice program with Warner. He came down,
No, tell
I
me
don't know,
about it. I
8 or 10 times. We got involved in a apprenticeship program through the Virginia Foundation for the Humanities. And Warner Rice and myself built 2 boats.
So young people from somewhere came to work on it with you?
Well,
As apprentices?
Warner's young, or younger than me. Of course, he's probably got more boat building in his family than I do. But it's something that he wanted to do, and it seemed to suit the people in Charlottesville, so we did it. It was enjoyable. He was a good guy to work with.
You were been active in a lot of things in Reedville, but when you were active in the Boy Scouts for a long time?
Yeah, I guess about 10 years. I was a scoutmaster. I think I'm still I'm still registered, but I'm not really active
Were you a Boy Scout when you were of age?
for a few weeks. It just, at the time, just didn't seem to suit me. But I sort of got, my son was in it, and the scoutmaster at the time, I think, had been scoutmaster for, I think, around 20 years.
Was that Doug Wall?
Yeah. Yeah, he was just, he said he was burnt out. But I think he did great because I was that way in 9. So, and I didn't really tell him I would take over the scoutmaster spot. I just told him I'd help. Somebody else was going to take that, and before I got the paperwork done, he couldn't do it. So that left me, not knowing the first thing about it. But it was a good experience. I had 2 or 3 older boys in the troop that really helped me probably more than I helped them to start with. It was good.
Back to the boat building. You say that boat out there is, you're building for somebody that's gonna end up in Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
How often do you build boats that are for out-of-state customers?
Not very often. Last year I built one, a skiff, 16-foot skiff that went to Mobile, Alabama. Even ended up delivering it. The man had never seen me. He saw a little article in National Fisherman and called me up one day and gave me the order before we got off the phone. He was originally from North Carolina and was a little bit familiar with the kind of skiff I was building. But it hadn't been many. Most of them it's been
Local stuff?
pretty local,
Yeah, yeah. Because I was wondering how out-of-state people hear about you and find out about you.
Well, in that case, it was through National Fisherman magazine. Larry Tuning down in Urbana
Oh, yeah.
has a little article, a little around the yards. Everybody puts a little something in that, and we'll mention something once in a while.
Yeah.
And the Rhode Island client had ties to Reedville or not?
Yeah, yeah, the brother, which is helping me.
Yes, okay.
He and his wife have lived in the area for 3 years, I guess.
Yeah. How many other places up and down the East Coast do you know of do what you do here?
Well, I don't know. It's probably a lot more when you go north.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, different type of boat, but
Yeah,
you know, basic
but basically
wooden boat.
hand building wooden boats, you know, that's,
Yeah, it's not like it was some years back.
yeah,
I mean, gosh, right here in Reedville, it was a lot of boats going on under construction.
yeah. Well, rephrasing it, where's the nearest place that they build boats like you do? You know, any idea? How far is your nearest competition?
Deltaville.
I guess it's still somebody down there building. I really don't know. Most of what I'm doing is the small boats and the skiffs, and you know, I'm sure it's some of that going on.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not a lot of larger wooden boats,
Yeah,
you know, anymore. But
yeah, yeah. What's the largest boat you built?
largest I've built, I built a couple of 46-foot charter boats. Robin Sue for Roy Amburn, and well, her name now is Sharon Song, owned by Woody Robinson.
What
Yep.
was she built at? Name of
Miss Lucille.
it? Okay.
Yep.
So he just changed the name a couple of years ago then.
Right. Well, he changed it when he bought the boat. It was built for a man in Winchester. And, he ran charters out of here.
How big was Hudnall's boat?
Hudnall's boat is right at 40 feet,
It's a pretty good sized boat.
maybe a few inches under. Yeah, that was a fun project.
Yeah, that was your last boat you built, right?
Yeah.
What was different about that? It made it fun. Just
Uh,
working with him.
Working with him. Yeah, that was a big part of it. That was the first, you know, big boat that I built by myself without help. And I'm not saying that was a lot of fun, but it was less headaches, you know, which kind of made it fun.
How long did it take you?
I can't remember. Probably a year and a half, maybe close to 2,
Mm-hmm.
start to finish.
Yeah.
But you were building other things at the same time.
Yeah, I was doing other stuff.
You mentioned a son in Boy Scouts. What are the odds that a son will follow you in the boat building business? I don't know how.
Probably
else it
not.
is.
Probably not too much. He's always loved boats and the water, but he's never really been into the boat repair and building. Although in the last few years he's probably shown more interest than he did earlier. But he helped me for a couple of summers when I was in school, and then he ended up helping a pound netter, and thoroughly enjoyed that. Worked for Fred Jet, and went in the Coast Guard, and came over and started on a tugboat, and jumped around different companies, and he's back on a tugboat now, and likes it. So I don't think it's a whole lot of chance he'll come back and work on boats, but he might.
Well, you see the type of work you're doing is fading fast because of the fiberglass boats have been doing.
Yeah. In a way, you know, I think the reason that I'm as busy as I am because there's not many of us doing it.
Yeah, nobody wants not everybody wants a fiberglass boat. We gotta look at Larry Jennings and Tiffany, and then they don't fool with wooden boats anymore.
Right.
And all the larger boats being built at Prince Edward Island or someplace up there, people buying them.
Yep. You know, if my son was gonna be in it and wanted to make a go at a business, I'd probably encourage him to go that way.
Yeah.
You know, but at this point in my life, liking what I'm doing,
Right.
I'm not going to change. You know,
Yeah.
not that much. So.
As I look at the bay right now, I don't see very much use for large workboats.
Well, you've got a point there.
I mean, crabbing is dying fast, oystering is dying fast, pound net fishing is just barely making it.
Yeah.
And
Ocean is all but gone.
yeah,
I mean, I guess it's still hope, but what I hear doesn't look very promising.
No, I wouldn't want to go invest $100,000 in a workboat.
Nope.
Is there enough business in building wooden pleasure boats to keep it a viable concern? Yeah.
Well, so far for me it has been.
Yeah, I mean, Donald
You know.
paints a pretty bleak picture here. Everything's going down the tubes.
Well, it takes a special person nowadays to want a wooden boat. You know.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of people, I guess, think they want a wooden boat
yeah.
until they get one.
There's romance about it.
Yeah. You know, I think it's always going to be that group of people that wants a wooden boat,
Mhm.
knows what to expect, and will take care of.
Willing to put in the time, effort.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's always going to be, I don't know how big a group that's going to be, but I think it'll always be around.
Tell us right here,
Yeah.
how did you come up with this particular plan? Is this between you and the owner?
Yeah. It's mostly the owner's idea. He bought plans for a boat, but we're not using them very much. I never built a round stern. I never built an outboard motorboat with the motor in a well. I've converted some and I've rebuilt sterns, but so he bought plans mostly for the well configuration, and what he wants is a typical round stern Chesapeake Bay dead rise workboat look.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we were after.
I realized that what you were trying to get. I can see it.
Yeah. But she's, you know, it's a little bit lighter construction, a little bit different than I would do ordinarily because we're figuring on glassing it. So,
And you will be planking it with this tongue and groove?
yep, just to get a little more glue joint,
Yeah.
you know.
And what would be the deck level?
Yeah, that's still open for discussion. We haven't settled on exactly where it's going, but that'll be the top of the sides, sheer.
And the total length is 28 feet?
20, just under 25.
Okay.
Yeah. We measured this morning, and it looks like with the stem, it's going to be about 2410.
So are you 20% finished? Where are you in the process, roughly?
Time-wise, maybe 10 to 15. No, I doubt it's even that much. Maybe 10. In another, if I can get back working on this pretty steady, in another week, it'll look like we're half finished. But we won't be. Because, you know, it's going to go quick for a few days.
Would you have to turn it upside down again, the glass at the bottom?
We're going to, yeah. We considered doing it before we flipped her, but it'd be so much better to do all the sides and the stem and the stern too, and we really couldn't get that on until we set it up right. Watch the step.
Yep.
The last high tide, last storm, found out what boards weren't nailed so good. She's probably she's probably 15 years old now, or maybe a little more.
What kind of fowl did they have in this?
Originally, she had a 75, and I think the last pair she had was an 88 Evinrude.
Pretty boat.
Built it for Jim and Megan Miller.
Yeah,
Megan crabbed in it for a long time,
yeah, they
and she sold it. People that bought it didn't take real good care. Then Mr. Griffith bought it and decided to change motors. No, Dad built it.
did. Did
He,
They were going to yachts, right?
well, this was actually before he went to Baltimore.
Dang.
Oh, so it's before 1940.
Yeah, well, it was. I think he finished it in 1940. Probably the last thing he did before he moved. She was built for a banker in Richmond,
Okay.
and she went to Irvington, I think. And
And
The-
has been neglected of
been
late.
neglected big time.
Yeah.
Well, it's a Butler cabin, but it's not the classic one. It's special purpose.
So this is too high? Is that one other thing?
Yeah, see, she was built for trapping. She had the standard,
Cabin like that boat over there.
right, even had the deck behind it.
Yeah. Now, did you build that boat over there? Did you always build it?
But the original cabin was a whole lot prettier. I mean, fit the boat.
That's a big head they're building
Chop and everything.
over there. Did Cecil Jet sell all his boats?
I think he still got the last one that Andy built him,
Did he? Okay.
as far as I know. Big railway that ran through here. You remember that or not? That was on piling it.
And do they
So right
really
here.
use railroads? They really do.
You know, sometimes. This one has got, I think it's always been that way. It's got railroad track, and it's on wheels. But the big one had roller boxes, like a lot of railways are. Had the flat bar on the cradle and also on the track. And it had a series of rollers, small rollers that were attached to a frame, and that rolled between the track and the cradle. You can pull a lot more weight, something like that. Basic stuff, but we have some patterns. There's a couple of them in the exhibit, some older ones, just for the side planks.
But you don't really use.
Well, sometimes it's the side, it's the shape of the side, and on a little skiff like that, that's 9/10 of the boat right there. You get that the right shape, right size, and as long as you bend it the right width, it's done. You know, the shape is done. So you can straighten the pattern out for outboard motorboat, or you put more shape in the top edge for the shear or whatever you want to do. They don't often use the old ones anymore, but Dad was building so many 14-foot and 16-foot outboard motorboats that when I was helping, we got some plywood and made 2 new patterns just for that.
it's artistry, it's imagination, and everything else that you would want in a person that's alive.
Well said.
I mean it.
Yeah.
That's why we're here, to make some sort of a contribution. And it's just a fact of life. We have to. We wouldn't be paying our dues if we didn't. Right?
Well said.
Is that on camera?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, boy. You know, we're so many people hide their talent. George is one of them. You have to bring him out. He doesn't come out and hit you on an old rah, 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 rah. You have to bring him out. And it's beautiful to know people like that. There's another